Hello, it's the Bad Mini Painter, and there has been a bunch of new tile releases, which is just absolutely lovely. So today we're going to be painting up our Krootox Rider, which is one of the new crude thingamabobs that hit the shelves. I really love these models. They're absolutely beautiful, really cool, and look dangerous and everything. And I think it's really good that the Tau gets something other than white battle robots. So I went all in and bought everything. But today is a Krootox Rider. And I'm probably pronouncing that incorrectly. But it was easy to put together. No small fiddly parts. Everything just kind of went smooth, which is rare for me when it comes to Game Workshop models, and especially the new ones. It seems that the more detail they add, the worse they get to put together. So that's probably some correlation there. Anywho, I had a internal struggle on how to actually do the skin of the Krootox. That's probably their name. And I ended up with the Griff Charger Grey, which was a little more blue than what I originally went for. And when you look at the box art, it's dark and goes to light, so gradient. And some of the cool things with the speed paints is that you can layer them on top of each other and make it gradually darker. So that was the effect I went for, and it actually went fairly well. For the Kroot itself, green armor as the skin base. I also need to figure out how to paint the Kroots well. Next I went in with the Raid Bone, and that is for all the bony parts. And that's the breastplate and beak thing on the beast, and also the beak of the Kroot, because they have beaks, I've just decided. After that layer of Raid Bone, I go in with the Screaming Skull, and pretty much layer on top of it all. I try to leave some of the Raid Bone near the edges and just darken the center, due to reasons. Trying to make it look better organic. Deep Brown from AK Interactive is an awesome warm reddish brown that I find is really good for light to medium leather. So I decided to use that. I love AK Interactive. When I started using too thin coats, I had like an epiphany. Like, this is how paint is supposed to flow. And then I saw some YouTube videos and people talking about AK Interactive, so I tried those, and they're like too thin coats on steroids. Just so awesome. For the underlying layer, I decided to go with orange brown, also from AK Interactive. There's this leather saddle, and then some fabric that ties it to the Krootox. So for that. The hair, which is more like spikes, I go with the Berserker Red from Too Thin Coats. It's a bit darker and better flowing than something like Corn Red from Citadel. So that's why that was my choice, but just generally a dark red. Then dark brown from AK Interactive, and I use that for all the straps around on the model. There's some leather straps things here and there. There's the holster for the knife, and the straps holding the ammunition to the back of the rider. Now for everything that seems kind of golden, I decided to use brass from AK Interactive. It's a little bit colder than something like a Retributor armor, which would have been a decent alternative. I decided to go with brass because it's almost the same, but it's thinner and it flows better, so that's why. it's easier for me to paint with. And when you're bad, you need to make things easy for yourself. Natural Steel from AK Interactive. It's kind of a bastard love child between Leadbelcher and Stormhose Silver. And I used that on all the parts that I decided was metal. So belt buckles, large parts of the gun, and the different thingamabobs here and there. And of course the ammunition. Ammunition. Jesus, that's not a difficult word. Abaddon Black for the shoulder blade. And just that. Yeah. That's the only thing I could figure out to paint black. Then I go in with Incubi Darkness for the nails on both the Beast and the Rider. Oh, I also painted a glove with the Abaddon Black. Anywho, you'll see that later. Now it's time for washes to actually bring out all the detail that this lovely model has, and I start out with oiled earth. Jesus, I can't speak today. And I use that on all the leather parts and the gun, because I want the gun to be a little more greasy and dirty. Raglan Flesh Shade is what I will use for all the brass parts, the gun excluded. But also for the things I painted the bone colors. So gold and bone. That means it's beak as well. It's a weird creature, but absolutely wonderful. Then it's Athonian Camo Shade for Mr. Kroot. And this is thinned 1-to-1 with the medium. Simply because I only wanted in the recesses to add definition. To highlight the spiky hair things, I use Ruby from AK Interactive. Now it looks like a really there's a really big contrast, but most of AK Interactive's color lose vibrancy as they dry, so it seems more harmonic when it has dried. And then it's back to orange brown, and that's to highlight all the leather. And I don't go all over the model for this because, well, the name of the video is Fast and Easy, and that means we do the bare minimum to get the best result possible, right? So a little bit of highlighting with this, not a lot. And finally, as the last little thing, eyes. Yellow flame from 2 thin coats, and it's just a little dot in each socket, I guess you could call it. And there we go. And the finished result looks, well, I was about to say something like this, but it looks exactly like this. This paint job took me about 2 hours, which is a little more than I would normally spend. But I think for 2 hours this is a fairly decent result. There's always details that I could have added, and you can nitpick about different stuff here and there that I overlooked or whatever. But all in all, I'm pretty happy with the result. I need to be better at painting base rims so they don't get so clogged to look at, like a smooth surface. And the trick is to thin your paints, I know that. So I should do that. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, do subscribe, and I will see you very soon for another upload. More Kroot, probably.